As long as we stay current and we keep pace with that, and if that's really the mission of what we do, then we'll always stay relevant. And you know what? Competition is healthy.
Let's unpack that a little bit about that diversity angle, because that is something that is quite interesting. There was a great little session on the Inner Tribe stage around this.
Sure.
Because it's not just diversity in forms of gender, race, whatever. There's also that it goes a bit deeper than that. That there's
Yes.
diversity of thought.
Yes.
And if you're able to get different thought patterns and different ways of thinking, different ways of doing things, you actually end up with better products. I mean, there's a physical reason behind.
Absolutely. I'm a huge proponent of D&I in itself, at Finastra, but even outside. But I do believe that it's just not diversity in gender, which is mostly spoken about, but it's a culmination of thought, is how you think, how you operate, where you come from. Is in itself is how businesses succeed, and that's the way of future and how we will be doing business moving forward.
This is the bit that I can do quite well, by the way.
You're pretty good at it.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't used to be. Look at this.
It's because you used to have long hair. That's why.
You
used to brush it.
That'd be why. That's very cool. Usually it's I'll let you carry on.
Mess it up a bit now.
Now, obviously, we're here at Sibos.
Yes.
Is this your first Sibos? How many Sibos have you been to?
This is my second.
Your second? London?
Second, yes.
What's been your thoughts on the conference so far?
You know, quite honestly, I am just happy to be in a setting like this, only because the last 2 years have been unlike what we see now, right? So how quickly we've been able to quickly pivot from the way we were living in during the pandemic to where we are today is very interesting. And not only that, so that's been very, very refreshing to meet colleagues, to meet peers in a professional setting like this, but we equally have a purview of what individually they all are working on and what's really driving their success. So that's been very interesting. And I think you see a lot of that here at Sibos. I have been to many conferences in my career, as you could tell, but this one happens to be one that I really enjoy going to, but equally what our customers equally look forward to when it comes to insights and trends as well.
I want to let's talk a little bit about your customer base. We've talked a lot about kind of company culture, a lot of the ethos, where you sort of stand in that, but let's talk about delivering kind of actual products. Now, Finastra, big core banking provider, and you've got a wee bit of competition has kind of emerged over the last few years for the likes of your Mamboos, 10x, Thought Machines, etc. How do you not become the incumbent? How do you step up to when new players will keep coming in? How do you maintain that you guys are still at the forefront and still relevant?
Yes, absolutely. I think the way we do that, and here at Finastra, everything we do is looked at from the lens of a customer. So talk about customer mindset, right? And voice of the customer. And that's always evolving. As long as we stay current and we keep pace with that, and if that's really the mission of what we do, then we'll always stay relevant. And you know what? Competition is healthy. Sometimes the folks we compete with is also the ones that we collaborate with. And like I mentioned earlier, that collaboration is a new innovation. So through our fusionfabric.cloud, a lot of these services that are provided by some of the fintech firms, we actually collaborate with them because we think that two of us together is better than one, right? And I think as long as it brings value to our customers, we really find ourselves to be in a much better way. We were catching up to customer demand and solving for our customer needs.
Very well said. I always parrot Ben Robinson with this, so I've got to give him credit. But so banking and fintech as a whole used to be a castle behind big closed walls. You had your data center, all your software, everything was kind of shut off, and now those walls have come down. It is like a forest. It is very much like an ecosystem that you're working in, and everything's interconnected. Yes. How do you foster that, and how do you make sure that you're still connected with all of these different organizations?
I think so. I mentioned this. Every company now is a fintech company. Even banks these days talk talk about their technology and how that technology enables consumer behavior, but how
Fintech are taking over.
Right. So every company now is fintech. But when you look at the premise of that, every company is a fintech. There is a propensity to collaborate, and together, how do we really, win together? So you'll see a lot of that collaboration, and events like these, right? Sibos gives you an opportunity to see, what are my peers working on? How can we collaborate? Where do we see the trends? How do we tap into it quickly, faster, so we can meet that customer demand? So the reason we all come together here at an event like Sibos is not to see how we can outperform each other, but it's more around how can we all win together.
Collaborate, yeah.
How we all can all win together.
Yes,
I like that.
Yeah, so collaborate to innovate.